Hello YouTube people, in today's video I'm going to show you how this Addiesdive AD2507 watch looks like on these custom straps, and also I wanna compare the thickness this quartz watch versus this automatic watch. So we're gonna see how much slimmer is the quartz. And just for fun, I also want to do a little comparison between these two watches because, well, they look rather similar, but they are a little bit different. And since I'm including this watch, so I'm probably going to include this watch a little bit as well. This video is sponsored by AliExpress. AliExpress gave me a budget which I was free to spend on any watches that I wanted, and this is one of those watches that I bought. And on top of that, Addiesdive also gave me a 50% discount. So thank you AliExpress and thank you Addiesdive. Specifications and measurements, which as always I've done myself. The weight of this watch naked like this is 84 grams, so not a lightweight watch. The diameter of the bezel is 41.4 millimeters. Diameter of the case right there from side to side is 43.7 millimeters. Lug to lug distance 47. Lug width is 20. Thickness, about thickness a little bit later. This watch has 120 click bezel with ceramic insert, and it has 200 meters of water resistance together with a screw down crown and screw down case back. And inside it has quartz movement, which is ticking and also has date function. Now about the thickness, I wanna do measurements in front of the camera because that's the important thing. The comparison between automatic version and the quartz version. So the quartz version, how thick is the quartz? Is roughly, well, not roughly, it's exactly 11.9 millimeters, and automatic version is 13.5 millimeters, so quite a bit slimmer, because if I put them side by side, you can see that the quartz version basically has no belly. The case back profile is almost flat. It's a little bit bubbly, but it's almost flat, while on automatic one it's quite a thick case back. So that's basically the main difference. And now just for fun I wanna also compare the thickness of this beast of a watch, which looks like a tuna can. Right there in the middle, the thickness of this one is 14.9 millimeters. So this one is 14.9, this one is 13.5, and this one is 11.9. And this watch comes on this bracelet, which has solid end links, solid links. Links are connected with simple pins, and it comes with this pressed metal clasp. And that's how this watch looks like on my 16.5 centimeter wrist or 6.5 inches, and it does sit better than automatic version, obviously, because the belly is not that fat. Now speaking about the bracelet, let me show you how many links I had to remove to fit on my wrist. This is how many links I have removed, and now let's see how many I could still remove. How is it looking like? So on the clasp I'm set on the last hole. On this end of a bracelet I could remove one link, and on this end I could remove 2 extra links. So if you have slimmer wrists than I do, you will be fine. Now let's take a better look at the bracelet and the fitment. Fitment inside lugs is great. I see no gaps. It sits nice and flush, and it doesn't move around. It's tight, it's secure, it's actually very nicely done. And I like that the first link is free to move. So the top of the bracelet is brushed, as you can see, sides are polished out, and it tapers down from 20 to 18 millimeters, and it comes on this pressed metal clasp, which I believe you know very well already. This clasp is actually okay. The sharpness, well, it's actually good. It's fine. I wouldn't call it sharp. It doesn't bother me, especially outer shell feels nice, doesn't feel sharp. The thing about this clasp is that once you lock it in place like that, it's actually feels like a good quality product. It feels secured, it doesn't rattle, it's a good thing. Now the bracelet itself, how does it feel like? The bracelet, in terms of the sharpness, well, I wouldn't call it soft around the edges, but I wouldn't call it sharp either. I would say it's somewhere in between. So let's say the sharpness on this bracelet is average. Overall, especially considering the price point, I'm not disappointed. I would say it's a good quality item. Now let's take a good look how the finishing on the case looks like. So top of the case is circular brushed, and it does look pretty nice. I can't complain. It looks pretty nice all around, nicely brushed. Now sides are polished out, and the transitioning between polished out surface and brushed seems very crisp and nice. Nothing to complain about. I mean, polished out surface looks like a mirror. I mean, seriously, just look at this thing. Another side as well. Looks like a mirror. Very nice. Now the case back looks like this. How is the sharpness? As always, the same. Nothing new there. The bottom of the case is straight brushed. Edges, no sharpness whatsoever. Feels very nice. What's very nice is that the inside lugs polished out. So if you're going to wear this watch on custom straps, so it's very nice that the inside lugs is polished out. It's gonna look great. The only sharpness I found on this case is inside lugs. Inside lugs are pretty sharp, especially those corners, but I mean, who cares? That's the only place where this thing feels a little bit sharp. And I like that the crown guards are not overdone on this watch, which usually is the problem on this particular model of design. But as you can see, crown guards have a cutout on the bottom, so operating crown on this watch is actually fine. It's way better than it looks like it's gonna be. Now let's do quality control testing about the crown, which by the way looks great. Very nice crown, a very nice engraving, big crown, which is actually not difficult to use. It looks like it's gonna be difficult, but because of this cutout on the crown guards is actually not bad. Now let's check how far from the midnight it is going to flip the date. So 11 p.m. and 30. 11:45, 11:50, and now let's go slowly. Wow, right on the middle, right on the midnight. That's very, very nice result. Well, as good as it can get. As good as it can get. Now let's check the alignment of hands when I set them on exactly 6. Alignment is perfect, it seems. Is it? Is it? Yeah, it's good. Well, our hand seems like it's tiny bit behind, but I would say it's microscopic. It's microscopic. I would say it's fine. So, quality control wise, speaking about the crown, no problems found. Now I wanna play around a little bit and do a little bit of a visual comparison versus some other watches, just because it's fun. Why not? So let's play. So this watch, well, at least color-wise, looks very similar. So major difference that sticks out initially is that this bezel is very shiny because it's aluminum insert, this bezel. That's why it's so shiny. And this one is ceramic. So pay attention, you know, both are green, but they look totally different because the ceramic, well, it just looks different. It's a lot darker. So, and another interesting thing, this watch has white chaptering, okay? Green bezel, but white chaptering, and it looks more like open, okay? It looks more open a little bit. And this one has the same color chaptering as the bezel, and it looks more like, I don't know, closed up. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I like that it has chaptering. I like that it's color matched. It's all fine. It just looks different, you know, it looks different. Anyway, so that's how they look next to each other. And another very big difference is the thickness, of course. Totally different, totally different. Now, also, let's play a little bit more and let's put them on the wrist. So this one on my wrist size, by the way, is 16.5 centimeters or 6.5 inches. And let me turn off that orange background light so you could see a little bit better colors, perhaps, potentially. Anyway, that's how this thing looks like. And if you want to see how this thing looks like on my wrist, outdoors, in the sunlight, check out the very end of this video. I will show you how it looks like. Now this thing also, let me put it on my wrist. And also the bracelet on this thing is 22 millimeters, but it feels necessary for this watch. It feels necessary, like it has extra support to give the stability for this watch. So how does this one looks like? That's how it looks like. I actually like how this bezel shines, and overall this watch, it's a nice watch, you know. Also, just like the other one, it's also a nice watch. Let's try the looks with the orange light as well. So, you know, since we're already playing with this watch, let's just include one more watch, okay? Let's include one more watch into the picture. This one, just for fun, because why not? Because playing with watches is fun. Simple as that. You know, I like this black one probably the best, to be honest with you. It's just, I don't know, it has very cool vibe. I just like PVD black watches. And I like the idea of PVD black coating wearing off over time, giving its aged look. But as I saw from your comments, telling that this black coating actually is holding up very well, so it's not gonna wear off very easily, which is good news and bad news at the same time. It depends the way you look at things. Anyway, that's how this beast of a watch looks like. Just because I have it, you know, just because I have it, I wanted to include it to show you. And now, you know what, another comparison would be this watch versus the bronze watch. So also it's you know, the same shape of the case, but they look totally different, you know. So this one, let me give you a good look at this one if you haven't seen a video about this watch. So the bronze watch, bezel bronze, everything is bronze except hands and indices, which are very shiny, by the way, on this watch. Surprisingly so, they light up in the light so much. They're so sparkly. They look awesome. I really like them. So all around, that's how this thing looks like. And yeah, the main major difference, proportion wise, it has a fat belly, while the Quartz version doesn't have a fat belly. So Quartz actually sits a lot nicer on the wrist. So this beast of a watch, that's how it looks like on my wrist. And wow, look how it lights up in the reflection. I really like that. Anyway, I'm just having fun playing with watches. If you wanna see videos about the other watches, the videos are already done. Check out my channel or my website, thomaswatchreviews.com, and you will see how each of those watches look like on different custom straps. Speaking of which, let's do that. Let's see how this watch looks like on a bunch of different straps. Now the first is this shiny bracelet, which I think looks great on this watch. I really like how this combination looks like. Shiny bracelet on this very eye-poking watch, very attention-grabbing watch, I would say. Even though the colors on this watch are not striking, nothing like that, but the shape, the proportions, the size is definitely an attention-grabbing factor. And together with this bracelet, I think it looks wonderful. It's a very nice combination. A shiny gray nylon strap, I think looks great on this watch. I like gray straps, they look great on many different watches. So yeah, on this one as well, looking good, looking good. This is militaristic style, elastic green nylon strap with this yellow stripe in the middle. On a watch that has green bezel, how does it look like? Well, green is a little bit mismatched, but I think it looks fine. I think it looks fine. Can't really tell you anything bad. This is the same strap, just gray in color, and I somewhat think that the gray strap actually looks better than the green one. I think so. I think the gray strap looks a little bit better on this watch. And that's how this watch looks like on this vintage styled leather strap, which looks like a beef jerky, you know. Well, it looks good. I think this beige color stitching together with this green bezel works together rather nicely. Pretty good combination. And this is yet another vintage style strap, which looks quite a bit stronger visuals, I would say. But on a watch like this, I would say it looks rather interesting. And this is tropical styled silicone strap, and I think it looks great. Matches this watch rather nicely, and it's actually a pretty comfortable option. And I forgot to mention in the specifications, but this watch does have sapphire crystal, like all the watches you just saw in this video. They all give me positive readings, as you can see. And to prove it that I'm not lying, I'll also include a watch which has mineral crystal. By the way, look at this little beauty. Awesome watch. Sadly, it doesn't have sapphire crystal. I get no readings from this watch. So what can I say? Having a sapphire crystal on a quartz watch from Addiesdive, which is a little bit unusual. Thank you, Addiesdive. And let me give you a little bit better look of this sapphire crystal. It, by the way, as you can probably see, has blue anti-reflective coating. And let me give you a good look. It is sticking out a little bit. It has nicely sloping edges, nicely cut edges, should I probably say. And itself, it is completely flat. And the performance of anti-reflectiveness, I would say, is actually decent. This crystal has actually very good quality. So it's not like this watch has the cheapest sapphire you can find. No, this sapphire crystal on this watch is actually pretty good. I must say, pretty good. I'm not disappointed. Very, very nice piece of sapphire crystal on this quartz watch. Let me show you the bezel action and alignment. So this is 120 click bezel, which has ceramic insert. It has decent stiffness. I wouldn't call it loose. I would actually trust this bezel. I can knock it off with my single finger like that, but it's actually decently stiff. I actually like how stiff it is. Now, speaking about the action, it's a little bit, as you can see, I can move it a little bit around, but most importantly, that when it springs back, it actually sits very nicely aligned. So let me set it on exactly 12. As you can see, look, it springs a little bit past, but once I release it, it slowly returns back to the place. So if I force it to return back, it doesn't spring back anymore. Once it gets into position, it doesn't spring back anymore, and it sits very nicely aligned, which makes me happy. I like that. So bezel is very nicely aligned, chapter ring very nicely aligned. It also flips date on exactly midnight. I mean, this is proper, well-built watch. And this is how the Lume performance looks like on these watches. They are shining just happily right now on the table. As you can see, this one is star of the show. The Lume is very beautiful. It's all blue, all the same color, all the same intensity, very nicely applied, and the full bezel is loomed. Looks awesome. Now, in comparison versus, for example, this one, which also has white dial, this one looks like it's shining a little bit more, but it also has more real estate for the Lume, as you can see. But I would actually pick this one because I like when the bezel is fully loomed. And which one? This one, also quartz watch, which sadly doesn't have sapphire crystal, this one. And to be honest with you, today is raining and the sun is not shining, so I was only able to charge them up in front of a simple light. I don't have any special lights to charge the Lume, so they have potential of actually shining even more than they currently do. But these are Addiesdive watches, so they don't even need a very strong light to charge them up. They still look great. This one, bronze one, has green Lume. I personally like blue one better, but this one is also fine. And also, wow, just look how it strikes into action, you know, in front of a reflection of light. Yeah, this thing is beautiful. Also, this black Batman's watch, inside it has green lume, bezel is blue. But yeah, this one is actually awesome. The lume on this watch is very good. For the ending of this video, let's summarize a little bit what you get for your money. And speaking about money, as I see right now, it goes for around 66 euros. So after applying discount codes, I believe you're gonna get a price of around 60 euros, which is honestly ridiculous. Simply ridiculous what you get for your money this time, because this watch is a very good watch, simply very good watch. It has very good action on the bezel. It also has ceramic bezel insert, which is less prone to scratches, and also this watch has sapphire crystal, which is not the cheapest one. This is actually a good piece of sapphire crystal, which has good clarity and somewhat decent anti-reflective performance. This watch has good water resistance and very good lume as always from Addiesdive, and very good quality control as always from Addiesdive. And on top of all that, you also get bracelet, which is solid links, solid end links. It's well done, it's well fitted. And even though the clasp is just folded metal, but it's actually good quality clasp, nothing really to complain about. So in general, for around 60 euros, this watch is simply ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous what you get for your money. And that's my conclusions. So thank you for watching, have a beautiful day, goodbye.